Good morning, students. Today again, I have come with the third stanza of the poem, The Elementary School Classroom in Islam. I hope you are clear with the first and second stanzas of the poem and the underlying theme of this particular poem, that is, the social injustice and class inequalities which we see in the society towards the children of the slum who are bereft of the basic necessities of life. I had told you earlier also to compare the chapter and link the chapter Law Spring to this particular poem. Starting of this particular poem is just based on that, so that you understand it better after studying Law Spring. Students, I hope you are clear with the first and second stanzas, wherein the poet has mentioned about the what is going on in the elementary school classroom in Islam, who are the students and what they are bereft of, and what does the school classroom look like, what all are pasted on the wall, like the Shakespeare's head, the world map, which has all the beautiful things, but nowhere the slums are pictured in that particular world map. So, how will a slum child relate to the world map or Shakespeare, because he is far, far away from receiving education, because he is burdened with the problems of life. Continuing with the first and second stanzas, I am I'm about to start with the third stanza, that is, surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal, for lives that slyly turn in the cramped holes, from fog to endless night. On their slag heap, these children wore skins peeped through by bones, and spectacles of steel with mended glass, like bottle bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. That is what the poet is saying. Can never imagine the life uh, outside of the slums. So if you want that the slum child should relate to the world map, you must put or blot the world map with slums, because the slum child can never imagine their life outside the slum, as they are overburdened and they are fighting the battle of life. They are troubled by disease and despair. For them, Shakespeare is wicked and Map a bad example. The noble laureate Shakespeare and the scenic beauty portrayed in the map cannot relieve them from despair. For them, Shakespeare is wicked, as they don't have education. They are bereft, they are far, far away from education. The map on the wall gives them false aspirations, as it makes them aware of the beautiful world and the creation of God. The children are confined to the narrow streets of slums, so map is a bad example. They feel cheated for being deprived of the beauty of the sun, the sips, and love, which all has been pictured by the noble laureate Shakespeare. Please understand the meaning. Sun signifies brightness of life. Ships signify the prosperity and love. These all three symbolize joy, brightness, happiness, and prosperity. Their only experience is that of hunger and poverty. To reach out to the world, these children are tempted to adopt wrong means. Look at the lines. With ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. To achieve all this, they will try to adopt wrong means, even stealing, and fulfill their dreams. Those children live in cramped holes. What do you mean, cramped holes? Small holes. They live in narrow areas, striving and struggling for survival. They live in small, dirty rooms from fog to endless night. Children underline this particular line, endless night. It is a never ending night for them. It is always darkness for them, from fog to endless night. Please underline. Fog means darkness, and endless night. It's a never ending night for them, trying to manage both the ends. The slum children live on slag heaps, that is, piles of dust, piles of waste material. Their world is full of dirt and garbage. Please link these stanzas to the chapter Law Spring. And remember Mukesh from Firozabad and Sahib from Simapuri. Please, children. These children are weak and undernourished. They look like skeletons as their bones peep through their skin. Look at the lines. These children were skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. They were spectacles of steel with mended glass. That is, they live on the worn out things of the rich people. Their life is like bottle bits on stones, means their life is shattered. Their world is in the foggy slum, and slums are a reality for them. Their home, and that is where they spend their entire life. The maps are not reality for them. They cannot locate the slums in that map. That is why the poet is requesting us, the cartographer should place slums in the world map that is pasted on the wall of the slum classroom. It is required to give the slum children means and opportunities to lead a dignified and civilized life. The poet, through these lines, is requesting all of us that please give them the light of education so they can also see the brightness in their life. I hope this stanza is clear, or should I repeat it once again? I am repeating it. Please take a note. Shakespeare and map are wicked for them because they cannot relate to Shakespeare or the world map, because they can never reach the basic rights that, and they are bereft from all of that. So for them, Shakespeare is wicked. And with the ship's sun and love tempting them to steal, they can be tempted to steal and commit wrong things to achieve the brightness of life. They live in cramped holes and their life is endless. Their life is always dark. It is always night for them. They live on dirty places on the slag heap and they're undernourished, so their bones are visible. They wear spectacles of steel. The body is just a framework. And with mended glass means a glass which is broken can never be proper. It is mended and their life is shattered. They spend their entire life in the dark and foggy slum. So, what is the poet trying to say us? So, we must blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Doom means death. Slum children can never see the brightness of life. It is just doom for them. It is nothing better than death because they live a non-existent existence. For them, they are just surviving. They are not living their life. So the poet is trying to justify that we must give them education so that the slum child can see the brightness of life. Student, please go through the stanzas and relate to all the three stanzas that I've covered. This is a difficult poem, so I am covering it slowly. I will start with the next video on the fourth stanza then. Thank you for now.